Riyad Mahrez. This was our record signing in the summer. Came with loads of expectations. Came as a ready-made Premier League winger. A guy who'd won the PFA Player of the Year, won the Premier League already. He came with a massive reputation to Manchester City, and it was a very weird, very mixed season. Now, as ever, context and expectations are really important. I think it's fair to judge Mahrez given the expectations based on him, and given what he came in as. He came in as the guy who's basically meant to be able to adapt to Manchester City, adapt to at least a life in the Premier League as a regular very, very quickly. A lot of people have brought up the comparison with Leroy Sané and Bernardo Silva, and while I understand it takes anyone a bit of time to learn the system, you can't quite compare those two circumstances because they're very different, the three circumstances even. With Leroy in particular, Bernardo, whatever, they came in as young lads from a different country playing in a different system, not familiar with the rough and tumble of the Premier League, and not with the seniority and experience that Mahrez has. So you can't really compare that. I mean, it is fair, admittedly, to say he's a new guy and he's come in and you have to give him time. I 100% agree with that, and you do. And he did get the time a little bit. But his kind of season had a very different kind of reverse effect of those two did. Sané and Bernardo Silva both started off kind of rarely, but by October, in particular in November, Bernardo and Sané started to turn the screw, and they were more or less ever present towards the end of the season. This season for Mahrez was kind of a bit of a reverse. He actually played quite a bit at the start, but during January, February and March, he only started 2 Premier League games. Only 2, and both of those came right at the end of February and March back to back. Before that, there was a whole 7 weeks without a Premier League start from January onwards to end of February. It was a really, really weird spell of games. He also, quite notably, came out and said that he wasn't very happy. Guardiola had to answer questions about that in press conferences in April, and he said, yes, he's not happy, but he's going to have to get used to it. So Mahrez himself wasn't happy with his season, and that's of course confirmed by Mahrez's own complaints in training. But at the same time, it wasn't a bad season. He did have some good moments, but it's obviously based against the expectation of the record transfer fee and how he was meant to adapt to our team immediately and all this kind of stuff. It was kind of a poison challenge from a little bit, but he did score the winner against Bournemouth from what I can remember. He also got a goal, an assist away at Watford in December, which was a big game for him. I feel like his season was tainted when he missed that penalty against Liverpool. He took the ball off Gabriel Jesus. And you're going to do that, you got to score. He didn't do it. Guardiola wasn't happy about that. And he kind of fell out of favour in the team in general. He stopped starting games. His performances were largely a bit ineffective. He scored some goals, a lot in cup competitions. But he did set out a lot of football around January, February, March. And after not playing much, he kind of surprised people by getting a start against Spurs in the Champions League. That game where we lost 1-0, which kind of upset a few people, understandably. He did play a few days earlier against Cardiff, but at that point, people were getting a little bit short of him. Though he did have something of a redemption period when he played against Brighton the last day of the season, got a goal and assist, a wonderful goal for that third goal. The one basically kind of clinched the title, for being honest. It was that buffer that we needed. And then he played really well against Watford as well in the FA Cup final. He was replaced quite early on after 55 minutes with Kevin De Bruyne, but that wasn't necessarily a slight on him. He was playing well that day, and one of our most dangerous players, just Kevin De Bruyne, was obviously raring to come on. Pep saw De Bruyne's brilliance, the counter as vital for that game, and so it proved. But it was a weird season. He scored quite a few goals in the end. What was it? He finished the season with 12 goals and 8 assists, which is not a bad return. It's just fair that people say they wanted a little bit more of him, especially when you consider that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those involvements came against Rotherham, Burton again, and Newport. So that's a big chunk of those. He had basically as well a goal and 2 assists in a 6-0 kind of dead rubber against Shakhtar Donetsk. So he didn't get goals at key times, apart from a couple, Watford and Bournemouth in particular. Mahrez, I do think, is a very good player. I think he just needs to learn to be a little bit less kind of an individualist. At times, he showed what he can be. He's got the intelligence, he's got the technicality, but he needs to inject a bit of oomph, a bit of fight into his game, and maybe kind of broaden his horizons a little bit in terms of vision. It felt like he was just making the wrong decisions a lot of the time. But having said that, it just still wasn't a bad season. A bad season is stinkers every single week. He had a few of them, but he didn't have stinkers every single week, and he was genuinely useful towards the end of the season every now and then. I'm going to give him A 6.5. I think he's got absolutely loads to improve on. I think he'd admit that himself. He wasn't happy with his season, but still at the same time, he did have some contributions. I've probably been a little bit generous. Some people feel that way, or some people feel a little bit being a little bit harsh. But I think that probably proves that maybe somewhere in the middle is probably kind of about right. Not a shocker season by any stretch of imagination. Just not the one that people hoped for when he came in as our record transfer fee. Obviously, he doesn't choose the transfer fee, but you can't ignore the stature that he came in. A guy who's really willing. A guy who was used to the Premier League and all that kind of stuff. Guys, that's just my take on Riyad Mahrez. Let me know if you agree with that as ever. Go and check out the rest of the videos tonight. The two Silvers, David and Bernardo, and that guy that is one of our own, Phil Foden. I hope you're enjoying all these series. But we've got four more videos left, which is Leroy Sané, Gabriel Jesus, Raheem Sterling, and Sergio Aguero. They'll be coming tomorrow night, which I can't wait to, because my voice is going. It's tired. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe. Thank you to all these guys. Patreon.com/Esteemed Company. If you want to get involved, see you soon.